We have finally hit it. The all-time #1 gold standard sucker job for anybody in sports. This is the con artist's best ever. And if you fall for it, you're a sucker like everybody else. This entire MMA match between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano is undoubtedly one of the biggest, one of the greatest, one of the funniest con jobs ever perpetrated on anybody. Now, if you fall for it, you're just going to make Jake Paul more money. Gee, he needs all the money he can get because, hey, we're dealing with an all-time con artist here. You fall for it, you give him the money, you're the sucker. Wear it proudly. We put these two ladies together at any time, and maybe if we do it 20 years ago, it's worth something. But Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are actually going to be getting together. It'll be a match between the two of them May 16th in Los Angeles. Everybody is ballyhooing it right now. Here they come, finally getting together. It's finally going to be these two icons of female MMA getting together. What, are you addled? Have you been lost? Have you been drinking? Are you stoned? Are you high? At one time, these were big fighters. Well, okay, in the sense of the MMA, which I'll agree right away I'm not a big fan of. But then again, if you put them together, legendary maybe, trendsetters maybe, record setters without a doubt. But now, look, I did the math on this one. It is now 26 cumulative years that these two fighters have not been in the cage. Now think about that for a second. You're going to go ahead and pay a huge buck to see these two women climb into the cage, into the ring, big time. And between the two of them, it's a total of 26 years that they have not been fighting. And there's a good reason why. Look, let's take Gina Carano, for instance. As a matter of fact, let's not take her. Well, she actually showed she's a terrible actor when she was in The Mandalorian, and she got kicked out of that by basically talking about Nazis. So we don't need her in the first place. Carano has not fought since the summer of 2009. Okay, math, kids, it works. 17 years. And the last time Carano was there, she got crushed. She was awful. She got destroyed. And here's somebody that you're going to be paying a premium price for, who has had 8 fights. Count them, 8 fights. That's it. And all of a sudden, you're thinking about spending money on this joke, this hack, this hag sitting there with absolutely nothing to offer whatsoever. Okay, that's just one half of all this. Now let's go look at Ronda Rousey, who used to be, for a time, a big name in MMA. Not anymore. Ronda Rousey's last fight was in December of 2016. Do the math again. I mean, it's not as bad as Carano, but Rousey in her last fight was knocked out in 48 seconds. 48 seconds! So here we have something that the suckers are falling for. Because I gotta tell you, I was laughing like hell. When I saw this, it hit my feed, and I'm thinking, oh no, really? FFS, if you know what I'm saying, and WTF maybe even spits in there just as big. Because why? I mean, this is one of those sporting events that you have to ask yourself, why? Nobody wanted it. Nobody asked for it. Nobody ran it. Nobody was running this going, we got to have this fight. We got to have this. Because nobody wants to see it. But now we're going to put a couple of women in the ring. And come on, you guys know it right now. You guys want to go see it because you like to see women fighting. It's not anything about competition. It's not anything about their skill level. You like to see 2 women fighting. That's the way a lot of these guys are. All they want to do is see, put a couple of chicks in the ring and let's go ahead and see them box, okay? It'll be fun. Matter of fact, how about we put a little mud wrestling in there as well? Add a little mud. It'll be even perfect. And don't put it past them. Because if somebody goes out and suggests for a moment or two that they put mud in this ring right now, I don't know, maybe have them fight with a ring full of salami. They'll do it. Yeah, okay, I know there's a lot of connotations in there that we can get into a whole lot later, but we'll kind of leave that for the side right now, okay? This is a con job special. This might be one of the worst sucker plays in the history of sport. And the reason, it's FOMO. People have a fear of missing out. It's like that's all it is. I got to go see Rousey and Carano because, my God, what if something happens? What if one of them gets her teeth knocked out? What if one of them breaks a leg? What if one of them gets hit in the chest? Oh, my God. See, it's all puerile nonsense is all it is. It's sexism at its finest.
You're a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
They just want to see a couple of girls get in the ring, slop around, and fight. And Jake Paul is counting on it. There's the next part of this little equation here. Jake Paul is without a doubt the single biggest, worst, greatest, highest, lowest, put him wherever you want, con man in the history of professional sports. But hey, you got to give Jake credit. He knows a good con when he sees one. And he also knows that you are sitting out there right now, you suckers. You'll pay to see anything. Look at all the money you paid to go see Jake Paul fight. And yes, I'm doing it right now. I hate to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and use air quotes because anything that he was in was not a fight. It was an exhibition. It was a joke. Look at all the incredible amount of money that he made fighting Mike Tyson, who was so washed up and actually got in a couple of good shots against Jake. We're talking about 108 million people globally watch this fight. 108 million suckers. That's all you are. Because for whatever reason, you fall for this nonsense. What? There's not really good sports out there that you want to be a part of? You don't want to watch baseball, football, basketball, hockey, motorsports, tennis, golf, boxing? See, and I'm a boxing guy. Or even just watch real MMA if you're into that kind of thing. No, you got to fall for this? I mean, it was a run. That's all it was. Jake was making money, and he's made millions. Millions. So in one sense, you got to give the guy credit. He was actually able to come up with something that he knew the suckers in the audience would fall for. And you did. So Jake is now running the Rousey-Carano fight. To think it's even worse right now, here's the guy that conned everybody, got millions of dollars. With boxing? This wasn't boxing. Jake Paul can't box his way out of wet toilet paper. And as a matter of fact, that might actually be a good idea. Put Jake Paul up there and have him fight wet toilet paper. I guarantee somebody's going to go out and buy that, whether it's a pay-per-view on Netflix. And let's give Netflix credit for this as well, because all they do is they jump in there, and yeah, you don't have to pay extra, but you got to get the Netflix subscription. Big deal, that's more money. They suckered you as well, and you fell for it. How do you feel? I really want to ask you, okay? If you actually watched Jake Paul in any one of those nonsensical boxing bullshit presentations, how do you feel? I mean, do you really feel like you spent your money well? Do you feel like that you're a fight fan? And you got to be a fight fan. Well, not even. You could just be somebody who likes to see a train wreck on the side of the road. But you bought it. How do you feel about that? All the money you spent on it, if you spent any money. Or what about all of his other fights? Not just the ones on Netflix or cable. What about the ones you actually had to pay for? You feel good about that? Was that really good money spent? Did you go out there with your buddies and your girlfriend and everybody drink about 27 beers, have 37 good cocktails and a couple of shots, maybe even toked a little weed here and there, and you feel so much better about yourself watching Jake Paul? Are you serious? Wake up, people. Wake up. Okay? This is a con job, and it's a good one if you think about it. Anybody who even thinks for a moment that they might spend money on Rousey and Carano. I'm not even going to get into the fight itself because neither one of these two should be in the ring. They shouldn't be there because they're not qualified. They're 150 years old when it comes down to boxing age at this point. And I go back to this point that if you're watching this, you're either female and you want to see females get in there because it's real tough and this is showing a real good object of women's sports getting involved, or you're a guy out there who wants to make sure you do the macho thing by seeing a couple of girls fight. I mean, that's really all it is. There's the skill level from these two. What? Are they going to take a couple of mop handles at each other at this point? You know, are they going to go ahead and dress up in maid costumes and do it? Hey, that might even be good. That'll sell a huge pay-per-view. But it has no right being there. Then again, we live in a society that gets suckered by this absolute nonsense. Here, I'll give you a couple examples. One, every Jake Paul fight got to make sure you use those air quotes, was a fraud. Complete and utter fraud. Exhibition money-wise, there was no real boxing to it. There was no real skills to it. There was nothing in it except, of course, when Jake got his clock cleaned at the end by a real boxer, which shows what happens. All those other fights, nonsense. They were just out there to suck your money out of your wallet and your credit card, and he did. Every single one, completely and totally phony. Look, boxing is filled with this. It's not like this is new. Boxing is filled with absolute nonsensical fights. Look, 150,000 years ago, we used to call them tomato can fights. I mean, and that's what it was. Great champions of every type put guys in the ring against them that they could beat. They knew they could beat them. I mean, if you haven't, if you're too young for it, go back and look up the name Chuck Wepner. I mean, there's a good reason why they put this guy in here. Good reason why they called him the Bayonne Bleeder. Because he was an easy mark. And there were a ton of them out there. And they made fortunes for boxers and promoters as well. Don King and Bob Arum and all the rest, they made tons of money off these guys, just putting them in there because it was a fight, it was an event, and people had to see it just in case something happened. Now, it is possible that you're going to have one of those moments happen, that maybe a fight will come out of nowhere and a champion will get beat. But look at all the money you've invested in that. It was really worth it. So that's another example. I'll give you another one. This fight between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano will probably work as well. It will probably make another gaudy, wonderful, outrageous, incredible con job absolutely possible because somebody's going to buy tickets to this. Look, you sell one ticket to it, that's one con job worked. That's one sucker. You're a sucker if you buy tickets to go see events like this. It's not entertaining, it's not fun, it's not competitive. And like I said, these two ladies have had 26 total years where they haven't been in the ring. And the last time both of them were in the ring, they got crushed. So what do we need it for? We don't. Jake Paul needs it because he wants to make millions off your back, and he's going to. So look, if you're an MMA fan, I get it. I'm not, okay? I'm a boxing guy. But if you're an MMA fan, I have no problem with it. Enjoy it. I mean, seriously, it's your sport, and I can't tell you what to watch. Nobody should. That's the point. And it's wildly successful around the world. You can't argue with the fact that MMA, UFC, and those various subdivisions and all, they're wildly popular. Mostly with young males who want to see people beat the crap out of each other. Okay, that's fine, whatever it is. Yeah? Rousey and Carano? Hey, people, wake up. Come on, come on. Snap out of it, snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
You don't have to go watch it. You don't have to spend your money on it. You don't have to pay attention to it. And you seriously don't have to give Jake Paul another dollar of your money. Because I guarantee you, that raucous, nonsensical bullshit clown is going to be back sooner or later. He'll have another con in there, and he'll go ahead and draw in another band of suckers. Simple. Don't be one of them.